This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Of course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Until then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see. Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almadria?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegus.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegus. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almadria did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almadria do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almadria resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah, I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almadria, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cislodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almadria. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almadria when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Shion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cislodia, the lush green glades of Menancia, the harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its lake of death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
So good. You all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almadria were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings...
Yeah, and it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almadria did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we can... catch up to Almadria. I'll ask Mahalar.
Look who's up. Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
Shion, I want to thank you.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own. Yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Danon in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Out of our way! Here's evil!
Anything in armor is on.
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
Take this.
Daring flame! Reload!
First strike! Sword Rain Alpha!
A comfortable win. Discourteous, aren't you?
You think that shield will save you?
It's almost too strong.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Quite necessary when creating weapon.
Got it! That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine.
Here I come! Hurricane!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Here's evil!
Crush!
Breeze Lancer!
Watch this.
Take this!
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more.
A comfortable win.
An opponent like this should be easy.
No two-headed bandits of peace. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! Mega Ray!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Out of our way! Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Resonate. That may prove a thing.
Action!
Rising Wyvern!
All yours, Kisara.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
No backing down. No.
Ice Tornado!
A showdown between blade and fist.
Gemini Alpha!
Snake of the Abyss.
Blade, try this!
Talon Hurricane.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
What could this be?
No backing down!
You've got to
Tell me, have you ever considered your
This one's got your name on it! I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle.
I won't forgive you!
There you are!
One more! This one's got your name on it!
I'll punch that gun out of your hand! Burning Slash! Big Slash! Raging Luna Storm!
Ignite! Can you take it?
Severing Wind! Eagle Fly! Luna Crumble! I'll smash you!
I'll teach you right.
I'm ready! Show me!
In an instant!
Impact Block! I wonder if I'm as strong as my dad was.
One day I think you'll surpass him.
I wonder when.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Forgive you!
First strike! Swallow Blade! Rising Weapon! Rising...
It's a duel of the arts!
First strike! Rising Wyvern!
Got flyers!
I've got it! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Raining Slash!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Out of our way!
No further! Too late to...
This one's got your name on it!
Ask to ask. On your knees.
Take this! You picked the wrong fight! Here! I'm on Sonic Drill Time!
My judgment!
Dragon Shell! Rising Wyvern!
Eagle Assault!
I'll finish you here and now! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Talon hurricane! The shock! Eagle! I'm just getting started!
It's over!
Resonate with the earth! I'll smash you!
On your knees.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Denied!
Sword Rain Alpha! Burn in hell! Small!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
This looks nice and tough.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Do it!
In an instant!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zoogles the Renans usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look it.
Gotta break through! On my lord!
Glimmer Dragon!
On your
Ready and rare!
Hurricane Flood! Rising speed!
Not on my watch!
I'm going in! We're not
airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a drop.
in an instant!
Searing flame! Reload!
Rising Wyvern! I'm on top! Swallow Blade! East!
Poison rend! Into the shadows!
Away! Here I come!
Mega ray!
Devastation!
Clear for us a path.
Rising Wyvern! I'm ready! In an instant! Impact Block!
This is...
I remember seeing instruments just like this back in Estaluva Forest.
It looks and smells like some kind of medicine.
Whatever this place was used for, I doubt it was anything of repute.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably, as one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almadria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almadria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almadria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? My head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almadria.
What could this be? Let's dispose of the trash.
In an instant! Take down their defenses! I see one, eh? Its armor's too strong!
Then I'll split it open!
A comfortable win.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. Double demon fang! Take it! Rising Wyvern! Dragon Spear!
Here's the evil!
I won't show you any mercy!
Fury! Damn it! I'm out! Double demon fang! You're done! Demon fang! Double demon fang! Roll it down! Serpent! There I go! Ready! In the glow!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'm ready for the next battle. Hey, look at that enemy. It's shining.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Watch this! I'll grind you with the Swallow Blade!
Lunar corruption!
Begin! Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! We're not finished! I'm ready to do it!
In an instant!
Impact Block!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
You're saying we should... check the Owl Forest?
And thus our strength yet grows.
An opponent like this should be easy. Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
On your knees.
Burn it!
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
I'll keep you restless! Demon Fang!
On your knees.
Die! Armor won't save you! Phoenix!
Do it!
Totally!
In an instant!
Impact Block!
Onward and upward.
Out of our way! Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of Fury!
You're mine!
Glacial Spear! Pierce
Move
evil!
away!
Freeze Blade! That's it!
Do it! Sword Blade Alpha!
All yours, Kisara.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
burn through.
Here's evil!
Armor won't save you! Dragon form!
They really don't give up, do they?
Do it!
Being interrupted.
Ignite!
Make the abyssal deep clear for us a
Swallow
path.
blade! I'll finish you here and now! I'll blind you with form! Eternal Dividend! Pile driver!
Flame! Reload!
I'll face you! Talon Hurricane! River Dragon! Elusive Deity! Take that thing! Catapult! Be still! Rising Sun!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil!
Demon Blade!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks, Kisara!
Take this! Slash! First strike! Sword Rain!
Carve through.
I'm on a roll now! Blew away! Elusive Deity! Double Demon Blade!
Do it!
River!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Everyone hanging in there?
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking. The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
What's wrong, sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Our work is done here. Let's move. should come in handy.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Now you'll learn! Here I stand! Ten! Elusive deity! Rising spirit! Pile driver! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Here I
Resonate
go!
with the stalagmite!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
The ship's cargo? What a pain. I can't see anything past all this stuff.
Be on your guard. For all we know, there could be something hiding around here.
Gotta break through! Now you'll learn! Double demon fang! I'm ready!
What's this? This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Azure Storm!
Resonate with the
We're not finished! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Fire support! Resonate with the fort! Mission! Rising Wyvern!
Rotating pile driver! My exploits are bearing fruit.
Looks like some solid equipment.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Storm! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Watch it! Burn! Begin!
Shoot them out of the sky!
Rotating pile driver.
Go for the weak point!
It's wide
Now
open!
you see what I can do. Won't escape me.
Sonic Truck! I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! Eagle
Raging Luna Storm.
Where are you going?
Lightning Thrust!
Watch this!
Fury! Eagle Assault! Double Demon Fang! This one's all mine!
Can't
get out of bed! Double Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! Not today! Begin! First strike! Power! Emerging Fury! Don't leave! Blow them away!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material. Did that get rid of the barrier?
We'll just have to go back and check. What could this be?
If Almadria's not in her own room, just where the hell is she?
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would guess that she's waiting for us elsewhere on the ship.
Which means she's most likely chosen a place where she'll have the advantage in a fight.
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Danon mages, and that woman murdered all of them. All on her own. I hate to say it, but she's an incredibly powerful astral artist.
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy. But on top of that, she might try to sick that monster on us again, too.
Right. To that woman, life itself is just a toy for her to play with. Let's make sure we put an end to it. Place to look. Straight ahead.
Almadria.
There she is! Almadria!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Danon Witch.
Almadria.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like a rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in Niez. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almadria.
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed.
What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, you will witness what that power's truly capable of. Mesmold! Enjoy your meal! Such sad eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me.
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you!
Double demon fang! Rising water!
Lunar blast!
Sword Rain Alpha! Can you take it?
Hit me! Flame of fury! In the sky or fire!
Eagle Assault! Ignite!
Glacial spear! Piercing
In a bind? Come on! Lunar Roto!
power of water!
Smash you! Take it!
Flame of fury!
Denied!
Take this! Stand! I'll finish you here now! Burn!
Hatred.
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready! Freezing storm!
Crumble!
You
should have messed with me!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! This one's mine! Not on my watch! None shall escape my justice!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Talon strike! Ignite!
Healing circle!
I'm grateful.
Dan!
Rising water! Do it! River!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Thank you! Now I'm in the green!
They're attacking separately.
I can't land a hit on her!
Keep an eye on her. And take out the monster first.
Demon Fire!
She's no stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that!
Yeah, take it away!
My true
Save you!
That looks bad.
Wits about you, people.
I'm ready! Annihilation! Searing flame! Ready!
The winds of judgment blow your way! Fall before impact!
Where are you going?
Chaotic disaster!
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Your astral arms aren't so special. And now, you're mine!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Overconfident.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Not while I'm around, she isn't. It's mine. I'll never forgive you.
What?
I'll take you down. I'll end you. Astral energy.
Say no more.
You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Danon, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to.
It's not about what you think, or being Danon or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
It's that swordsman again.
Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Volron. Years ago, the Lord of Ganeth Haros met a sudden death. His successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Think you can cut me down? What?
Wait, what just happened to him? Alvin! Say something! Let go of me! Let me go!
Gianna!
Alvin!
Sion!
Come and find me, if you truly are the Sovereign. After all this time, I'll be free from this hell. I can finally go home. I doubt I'll ever see this place again. Might as well walk the block once more for old time's sake. As usual, nobody wants to explain anything to me. They just threaten and harass me instead. What does everyone think I am? Some sort of talking pet? They're the ones that dragged me all the way up here in the first place. Bastards. I shouldn't have bothered coming out. Might as well head back to my room. I just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Leori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Leori. No! Wait, please. Wait, What was that? How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone? I need to find them. Better start looking. Niori. Shion. Damn it.
Orochi Fury! Double Demon Fang! Crush! Eternal Devastation! Double Azure Storm! Demon Fang! Crush! Eternal Devastation! Piston! You picked the wrong fight! Sword Rain Alpha! Blew away! Sonic Thrust! Sword Rain Alpha! Great! Next! Time to let it rip! You're mine! Blew away! Sword Rain Alpha! Raining Slash! Crush! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Destruction! Eternal Devastation! Demon Fang!
Alvin?
Rinwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Rinwell, where are we?
Ganeth Heros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
You sense one of your pals, Poodle?
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Severing Wind!
Not on my watch!
Azure Storm!
Double Just backing out again! Lightning condemns!
Devastation! You picked the wrong fight!
Resonate with the
Azure
earth.
Storm! Double Demon
Lightning
Fist!
condemns! Thunderblade!
Here I come! Rising Wyvern!
Lightning condemns!
Nature the abyssal deep. Clear for us a path.
Lunar Rondo!
Aqua.
Hands in the wind!
Blast the shot!
Air thrust!
all, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Speaking of Thistleum, it's populated by Danans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. Pretty refreshing, huh? The whole town was built by Danan defectors, escapees from elsewhere. This area's teeming with stray Zoogles, though, so heaven only knows how they managed to set up a community here. The ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Kisara and La are back there right now trying to convince them of our good intentions. Say, Alphen, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah.
And your sense of pain, too, it would seem. Any connection?
Really? Oh, but that means...
Probably.
I wonder if Alphen's going to be okay.
For now, I believe we should hold off on speculation. And then simply keep an eye on him.
Right. You're saying we should check the Owl Forest? Do you sense one of your friends?
Alphen! Boy, am I glad to see you safe.
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Shion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegus.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dana. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Danan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but Only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegis is true, then maybe you really did meet Shion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Shion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Shion I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renan maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Shion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imeris.
Imeris? As in Shion Imeris?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renan invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen.
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphen, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, Alphen.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
Do I even have the right to fight? Do I have the right to go to Shion's rescue? What do the others think?
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Danon, do you bear the same crest as the current Renin sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Danon for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden. A figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renin, born and raised. I learned the same history. Listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renin. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going. What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kind of my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alvin.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alvin of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alvin. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
Alvin! There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alvin, right! Great to have you back! Now let's do this!
Look sharp, people. If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Remember, if the paint's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come. We can't let even a single one through.
There's a firm no-super policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then. Eagle assault!
You're mine!
I bet that shell's hiding something tasty.
Portal blade!
Destruction! This one's mine!
in here.
Rotate fury! Take a beat!
Lion power!
It's almost too strong. Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade! I'll finish you here and now!
Alvin, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, this limb kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion, then we defeat Volron and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point.
Okay.
Why? What? Is that so?
Okay.
Great job.
I'll teach these small fry who's the apex.
By the way, how is Mahavar doing? Wait. Don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine. Let's get going. Thistleum was founded by Danans fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon. Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Shion?
Of course not. Shion's our friend. Almadria was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renin. But ever since getting to know Shion, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almadria was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almadria. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara. You're saying we should check the Owl Forest? I think Hoodle senses an owl around here.
Feels like I'm melting.
Calaglia was pretty hot, but at least the air there was dry. Out here, it feels like I'm trying to walk through thick soup.
I can hardly breathe, it's so stuffy. And don't get me started on the insects. You hanging in there, Hoodle?
It's brutal, all right. I can feel my energy being drained away just by walking. All this vegetation makes it hard to keep an eye out. Keep your wits about you, everyone. And watch you don't keel over while you're at it.
What's needed at times like these is a relaxing hot spring. That would soon help us adjust.
And where do you expect us to find one of those?
What about you, Alphen? All that gear, and you hardly seem to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I guess when you've lived a life devoid of pain for as long as I have, even feeling hot and bothered could be a welcome change.
Well, lucky you, I guess. Just don't expect us to carry you when you pass out.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat. There's the Zoogle we were asked to handle. Fires of passion, forces of
Tiger Blade! Rising Viper! Going in!
You picked the wrong
Are
fight!
those arms even
I
natural?
owe you one!
Here goes!
Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Slash! Double Demon Fang!
And Hurricane!
Now! Frozen!
Hammer!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Man, this place is thick with foliage.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the...
It'll be a breeze.
Get in, get out!
Double Demon Fang!
Fall into the If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay?
You're mine! No escape! You're mine! It's on! Hurricane Blast!
A charge like that could easily be faced.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Heal far enough! Don't get careless.
You're saying we should check the owl forest?
What's up?
Once we get to the mountain, the terrain won't be easy. We should rest up here before pressing on.
But what about Shion? She's waiting for us.
All the more reason to conserve our energy.
Huh?
It's not only the mountain. Hard though that may be, it's a pittance compared to what follows. Namely Volron. We wear ourselves out now, or worse still, get injured. We might as well show up gift-wrapped. Right, Kisara?
That's right. Besides, Alphen still hasn't fully recuperated yet.
I'm fine. Don't stop on my account.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, it's me who wants to take a rest for a while. Does that suit you better?
A little bit.
So, Alphen, 300 years, huh? Care to share the secret to such a long and healthy life?
I wish I knew. Once I left Lenegis, the next thing I remember is waking up in Calaglia. Everything in between is a blank.
You mean there are still gaps in your memory?
I've heard of starships with devices that can stave off imminent death by putting their passenger into a deep sleep. They're usually only intended as a temporary solution, until proper treatment for an ailment or injury can be obtained.
You think he might have been asleep in that starship for 300 years? But why? What would be the point?
Might this Naori have had a hand in it?
What do you mean?
If she's Renin like you say she is, she would have understood how to operate the starship better than yourself.
You're saying she deliberately put me to sleep for 300 years?
Dohalim, that's a bit of a leap.
Forgive me. I spoke out of turn. I'm merely thinking aloud, that's all. Shion and the maiden Naori. After 300 years, it's not unreasonable to suspect they may be related. Shion is nearly the perfect image of her, yes? She also just so happens to be connected to you. Is it merely a coincidence?
Like I've told you a million times already, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it couldn't have been Naori, then I guess I must have been mistaken. Complicated machinery can sometimes break down or have failures. Sorry for being presumptuous.
Hold on a sec. Alphen, you said the mask was to placate you, right? To keep your guilt and rage in check? And you were wearing it the whole time you were asleep, right?
I guess I must have been.
So that's 300 years you were wearing it. It's just a hunch, but do you think that the mask might be...
The reason he lost all his memories?
All but a select few strong ones, so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he saw them in the form of dreams. It's not completely out of the question.
In which case, maybe it was the mask numbing his sense of pain, too.
It's certainly possible. As for how, I wouldn't know, but the dampening effect on his psyche could have manifested itself physically as well.
I'm sorry for snapping at you back there. It's thanks to you that I feel like that we're finally getting somewhere with all this.
No apologies necessary. Reading others' feelings has never been my strong suit.
So he finally admits it.
I really hope Shion's okay.
I get why you're concerned. Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
Alone. I'm all alone.
Let's go. We don't want to keep Shion waiting.
I always hear you muttering to yourself whenever we're in battle. So, just what are you saying?
Why do you want to know? Does it bother you or something?
Not really. It's just the way you talk is sometimes kind of creepy. So I was wondering if you vent your frustration through your magic. Are you yelling, "You stupid jerk," or something like that to pump yourself up?
What? No, that's not what's happening during my incantations. I'm just focused, so I match my tone to fit the mood of whatever I'm trying to invoke.
Invoke?
How do I put it? Basically, the elemental astral energy behind each art, I guess.
Astral energy? Hold on, are you saying you can talk to astral energy?
Not exactly. But if I put emotion into what I say, it's easier for me to properly cast my arts. That makes sense?
Kind of. Okay, so if you can talk to astral energy, then you can ask it to, like, predict the weather or find secret treasure?
Wait, you don't really think that, do you?
Or you can ask it to send down lightning to where there's bad guys lurking and...
May lightning condemn those who bear false. Thunderblade!
What are you doing? You almost fried me with that!
I just asked the astral energy to send down lightning where there were annoying boys.
I don't know what to do. Things can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
Ah! Oh! It's you, Rinwell.
You were talking about me, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. I've just been thinking about some things.
Really? How unusual.
Cut it out. I'm being serious here.
Sorry.
I was thinking about... You know how I used to work for Ganabelt back when I was in Cislodia?
Yeah, of course. You were brought in after the Snake Eyes killed your friends, right? I mean, you had to.
Right. I used to have nightmares about it when I fell asleep. But lately, that's been happening a lot less. I don't know how to feel about that.
That's a good thing, isn't it? You should be happy.
Yeah, but... I did a lot of terrible things back then. And I'm scared I'm starting to forget what I did.
Okay, so let me just get all of this straight. You think you'll forget everything if you stop having those nightmares? Why?
Because... you know me. I'm freaking stupid.
But it sure doesn't sound to me like you've forgotten.
Oh, yeah. But still.
I don't think those nightmares going away means you've forgotten. Maybe it's a sign that you've come to terms with what you did.
Come to terms? You mean like Alphen with his past? You think that's what's happening?
Yeah, I do. You're pretty amazing, Law.
I am?
Yeah. Not all of us have figured out how to accept our pasts. Least of all, me.
Rinwell.